Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Sports Scope on this 31st day, Sunday edition of Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler. I went on and set up the recording today. I got some errands to do tomorrow, some marketing stuff actually to do tomorrow for this particular program. Since the NBA Western Conference Finals Game 7 was played yesterday, got a few points on that. Also got an opinion on Steve Sarkisian. I got a little bit different take on why he's saying what he's saying about some of his opponents and some other college football teams and whatnot. Quick take on the Jackson Dart Abdul Carter situation more. So stand by. Take my first only break. I'll be back here momentarily. We'll hit the ground running here on the Real Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, Skope, S-K-O-P-E, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. All righty then. As I predicted, San Antonio Spurs beat the OKC Thunder in Game 7 in 7 games, as I predicted. But listen, this is a pretty impressive feat, if you will say, by the Spurs. Coming back 2-3 deficit, going on to win two straight games there. There was a 16 to 18. Look this up. 16 to 18% chance of this happening. With the best player being only 22 years old. Victor Wembanyama, is 22 years old in his first playoff run. Not sure if they win the championship this year, but like Michael Jordan told Shaq, a young Shaq, when they lost in the playoffs, you got to learn how to lose before you learn how to win. The league will prepare how to contain Wemby for years to come. You know, Chet Holmgren only 4 years in and has played 3 years. And in the league, remember, he got hurt his rookie year and had played 3 years. And this guy is he is light years behind Wembanyama skill-wise. You know, he's light years behind Wembanyama skill-wise. And you want to look at his stat line here. Became the first player in NBA history to attempt 2 or less shots while playing in a 30-minute Game 7. Holmgren did not attempt a single shot in the final 31 minutes. There's going to be a lot of talk about whether you should trade him. He should be, if this don't motivate Holmgren, if this does not motivate him in the offseason to put the proper weight on, to be more aggressive, this guy's 7, he's a good 7'1", maybe 7'2". Wembanyama's a good 7'4", 7'5", easy. But they're not that much off height-wise. I saw them close together. This is what he had to say after the game when asked about it.
Hey, this is a summary.
Really different points, but there's times where like Wemby is like bumping you on the way to the huddle. Like there were times he clearly tried to put. Did you feel at any point that you almost went out of your way to like not make it about you and him, like almost to a degree you hadn't before?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's always about us trying to win the basketball game. You know, us as a collective, the Thunder team trying to win the basketball game. You know, and that's what it's always going to be.
For you guys.
All righty then. So you see that, and you know this kind of reminds me, and I said this last week. This whole series kind of reminds me of the rivalry of Detroit and Boston in the 80s. There was a documentary, a 30 for 30, made about the bad boy Pistons and whatnot, and the rivalries of the 80s. And this one's a little different, though, with the fact that OKC's already won the championship, and they felt like the underdog the whole time in this particular series because Wemby is soaring so fast. He's so big and so skilled, and he's soaring so fast that OKC feels like the underdog, although they got a 2-time MVP on their team, and SGA, and they're defending world champs. But now they've got a juggernaut on their hand that they're going to have to face every year in their own conference. I think they're actually in their own division. Oklahoma City and San Antonio. I mean, their rivalry is right there with them, and they're going to have to treat this kind of like the Bulls treated the Celtics, or the Bulls actually treated the Pistons, going back to those rivals. Same group of Piston players, where a guy like Holmgren, he's going to have to put 30 to 40 pounds on in the offseason, lift some weights, look at that tape, look at this particular game, the amount of shots, the bad play there, and get it together. If he's even a OKC Thunder player this next year coming in after this offseason. That being said, it's already been reported that they're not going to go after Giannis. And before I made my notes early this morning about this program, or for this program about what OKC should do in the offseason. And my thing is, you got 2 first-round picks there. You're going to have some cap issues, second Abram issues. Why go out and get a Giannis, a 31, 32-year-old Giannis? Why get that age? Try to get some of these good. There's some very talented. This is one of the deepest drafts in 30 years. Go out and get one of those players here. Go out and move up in the draft. Do you want to get a big in the draft to move off Holmgren? Possibly. Or trade Holmgren and trade those 2 picks to move up? Possibly. You want to get this guy, this 7'4" player from Michigan? Or you just want to kind of give Holmgren, hey, listen, you got to step your game up, brother. You got embarrassed on the big stage. Are you that kind of fiery competitor like a Victor Wembanyama is, like a Michael Jordan, and that Bulls team were, that were getting beat by that Piston team? Okay. Do you want to do that? Let's see what happens. All right. I have not, listen, this team they were up 3-2 in this series. Okay. My biggest point out here is they're just slightly off. I mean, this is a very close, if you ask me, this is a very close game. I looked at their points in the paint here. It was 34-32 in favor of San Antonio. Okay. Fast break points. The Spurs had the edge there, 19-7. Maybe you want to get a little bit more athletic in that department there. Well, there's plenty of guys in this particular draft here that can help you out with that aspect of your game on this team. So I really do respect what this general manager, Sam Presti, whatever move he's going to make. I'm going to sign off on it because in Sam Presti I trust. And so does SGA. Some reporter actually asked who the guy, he played his part. I thought SGA played his part. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he did his thing. Listen up. Got a clip here.
This is a summer, obviously, where there's going to be some, business decisions with the roster made, specifically, Hart and Lou, their team options, whatever might end up happening there. How much input might you give to management and ownership, and what might that input be?
I will give zero input. I will let Sam Presti, the greatest GM ever, do his job.
Yeah, I think so. Let the greatest general manager of all time, let him do his job. Like I said, Giannis is 32 years old. I just don't, and he's been injured the last few years with the top 10 and salary issues coming up. let them do his thing. They got the 12th and the 17th pick. They can do something, and they've got future first round picks. They've got young players. I mean, maybe they get Dubinska. I don't know. From BYU, could they move all the way up to 2? Possibly not. But could you get another scorer? I think they need more ball movement. A little bit too much one-on-one there, but the talent, the depth is still there for OKC. This is not that far off. They're going to have to get more physical with the Spurs. The Spurs are young and thick. You know, Castle's a thick player. Wembanyama's gotten thicker over the years here, and he's only 3 years in. So you got a nice challenge on your hand, but it's not a monumental gap. It's not a huge gap between these two teams. It's actually a little closer than I thought coming into this series, even though I did pick it at Spurs in 7 here to win. Like I said, very low chance of them actually doing that, 12 to 18%. And the fact that they're led by a 22-year-old player, the league is going to take notice. And you better believe that coming up in this year's draft, there's going to be a look at more big men being drafted. So the 7'4" player there out of Michigan, yeah, I do think he'll be a first-round pick. He may be about a top 15 pick here, if you ask me. All right, now, the Knicks. Okay, Knicks Spurs. Now that we have the final set, the Knicks were 2-1 against the San Antonio Spurs, including the Cup Game Series Championship. The Knicks win that game, and now Mitch Robertson saying, listen, I got the pinky injury, threw it out, but I'm going to play. He says he's going to play. The surgery was done successfully. I hope he does play and makes this a real series here. But listen, you know, the Spurs come off a daunting 7-game series following a tough 6-game series against Minnesota prior to this. I know that De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper are playing, but they're battling injuries as well. I just get a sense with this matchup, judging by the 3 games, also including everything, and also including the age and experience of these Knicks players. I said in the regular season, if these two met in the finals, that I would lean Knicks. I do lean Knicks even more now. I like the Knicks in 6. Okay, a little catchy there, right? I like the New York Knicks to win this series in 6 games. Only thing really the Spurs have going for them is they do have the home court advantage over the Knicks. The Knicks will remember, I want to say like a 3 seed in the East, but they're well rested. You have the Mitch Robertson's going to be back to help out with Wemby. We saw the 3 games. And by the way, the only loss the Knicks had to the Spurs was a 2-point loss. Now, can the Spurs find something and beat them? Yeah, possibly. They're more talented player for player. They got the more higher end talent. But you're looking at experience, you're looking at team chemistry. They shoot the 3 ball way better than OKC has shot it in these particular playoffs per se. So the Knicks' first championship, I want to say since 1973, which had former great coach there, Phil Jackson, though. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting finals. Man, I've read some stuff here. Some of these tickets here. Wow. I think I screenshotted some of these crazy tickets here. I've got so much stuff here screenshotted. Yeah. Game 3 average ticket cost here $4,200. The first game in New York. Game 1 in San Antonio, which will be on Wednesday. By the way, Wednesday I will be on live with the Mad New Yorker and get his take. You've already got mine. I like the Knicks in 6. The average ticket prices here, $2,021 for Game 1, $2,447 for Game 2. Game 3, $4,200. The first game in New York, $4,200, and I think that would probably be on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken here. I know Wednesday's going to be Game 1, so it'll be Wednesday, Friday, probably Sunday in New York. This place will be rowdy. I cannot wait to see that crucial game 3. So this is setting up perfect for the New York Knicks. And like Carlos said, this would be a major disappointment for the Knicks fans, as well as they're playing, to not actually close the deal and win the championship here. Okay? All right. Interesting back and forth. I've been noticing this for the last few weeks. This issue with Steve Sarkisian in the college football world, picking fights, putting a target on his players, mainly playing the victim, if you ask me, because Texas didn't make the playoffs last year with 3 losses. He took a shot at Ole Miss a few weeks back. Because of their the fact that Ole Miss actually got Trinidad Chambliss. The fact that Trinidad Chambliss got past the NCAA there, beat the NCAA in court to come back to play quarterback there. He got, he beat him in court, and he's going to be playing quarterback here. He's got another year of eligibility. He took a shot at them, talking about basket weaving or something of that nature. No, wait. Well, here it is. Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian stated that a student get a degree. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, from Ole Miss by simply taking courses like basket weaving. He made this remark to highlight the inquiries to transfer credit rules as Texas forces transfers to complete 50% of their degree at Texas, where other schools take previous hours here. So, just cheap shot after cheap shot. And earlier this month, he blasted Texas Tech competition in the Big 12. They're a team that is in our state, taking a shot at Tech, of course, that plays in another conference. This is him in a quote here. A schedule that I would argue, if with our 2s and our 3s, we could go undefeated and probably make the playoff this year. So he's mad because Texas Tech made the playoff last year and Texas didn't. And then he's taking a shot. He's mad about the Trinidad Chambliss thing at Ole Miss, them getting the even though he didn't actually say that, but that's what he's irritated at. They're a loaded team. There are a lot of pressure. You've got Arch Banning here looking promising coming into this season. I know they got Coleman, the receiver there. They've got an edge rusher transfer there. They look like the team that I would probably going to pick to win the national championship. But I think this is a preemptive strike towards, hey, listen, we have a very difficult schedule. We have high standards. He's building in his case not to potentially get fired. This team, I made some notes here about their schedule here. By the way, Texas Tech says, listen, we'll play you to week 2 if you want to. A booster for Texas Tech already said he'd buy out the game. This the UTS, who they play? Texas. Want to say they play like Texas State or somebody. Texas Tech head coach Jordan McGuire and billionaire booster Cody Campbell challenged Texas to the game, offering to pay the buyout for Texas Tech's originally Abilene Christian and Texas opponent Texas State. The buyout would be $2.4 million so they can play them. Okay? In other words, you want to play in week 1, Texas says, hey, we'll play in week 1. Of course, Texas has to play Ohio State in week 2. They don't want to play Texas Tech in week 1 and Ohio State in week 2. And then in week 3, I want to say they have to play like Tennessee or somebody, So you look at their schedule, they've got teams like LSU, Tennessee, Texas A&M. They just got a really difficult schedule ahead of him, not to mention Ohio State, of course. That's 4 teams right there. 3 could beat them. And LSU with Lane Kiffin could possibly beat them as well. So that 3 losses could put them out again, potentially. Not sure if they'll get that. We'll see how they look. I think Arch is going to be really good. I think they got a national championship team. I think potentially they could beat Ohio State. That I'd probably pick them to beat Ohio State at home this year as well. But he's scared. He's scared that he's going to get fired. He's trying to make his case now. So not that he is scared of anything else, not that he's bragging. I think this is out of fear and frustration. But listen, he's getting paid a lot of money to do this job. He knows the kind of pressure that is put on him to win at a place like Texas and the kind of money that's been invested in a guy like Arch Manning. He knows that. He knows what he signed up for. But this is out of state of fear, if you ask me, and try to make his case preemptive, ahead of before he even kicked the ball off, what's ahead of him and what he's got to deal with. But nobody's going to feel sorry for you, Steve Sarkisian. You're the most richest university probably in the country. You have one of the highest budgets in the country, if not the highest budget in the country. Nobody's feeling sorry for the University of Texas and their deep pockets and the boosters that, the boosters that fund Texas are definitely not feeling sorry. So you need to get out of the feeling sorry for yourself business, if you ask me, Steve Sarkisian. Okay? All right. Speaking of foolishness. Now, okay, Abdul Carter, let me just say this. I know a lot of you may have heard this. He's coming out, Abdul Carter, third overall pick last year's draft. Come out, criticized Jackson Dart for introducing the president, said some kind of smart remark like getting behind a guy like Trump and all that. Such a condescending matter towards Dart, but later said, hey, we're good to go, blah, blah, blah. Dart apologized to his teammate. Listen, I thought Dart probably shouldn't have done that. I think Dart's leaning too much in. You all know my opinion on him. Too much into being a celebrity quarterback. And Abdul Carter, what does he have to come up and talk to the media like he's some leader on the team? Mind you, Abdul Carter was benched last year for late for meetings, sleeping in meetings, and practicing and just really mailing it in for a guy that is a lot of expected of him. He was benched last year for a few series. So he doesn't really need to take that role as being spokesman for the team. Okay, he's a long way from a team captain just because you were picked high. Although he has gotten it together towards the end of mid to the late season here. He started playing well. He's immature. Jackson Dart's immature. I like what Jameis Winston said. Veteran backup quarterback. Hey, listen, you got players from all different walks of life and background. We all I'm paraphrasing. We all come together for a certain greater good. That's the beauty of an NFL locker room. That's always been true. That's always been true. Well said from a guy who's been a knucklehead in the past and has grown up. I think that's the situation. This is a challenging task, but I think he's looking forward to it. That for John Harbaugh to mold this team together and turn them into something. I think these players are all put it behind them. And I think the Giants will be competitive next year. I don't know how competitive. I've liked their off-season moves. I've liked their draft. They could have, as much as I've been bashing old Bill Carter, they could have one of the better defenses in the league. You get this guy with Kayvon Thibodeau, Arvell Reese, and their other edge rusher here. I can't remember his name, but he's probably the best one on the team. I know they lost Dexter Lawrence there, but they've got a lot of interchangeable players there that can make big things happen for this team, okay? But he's got to put all these pieces together, and I know he, being John Harbaugh, is looking forward to that, okay? All right. In other news, I noticed that Caitlin Clark is really struggling. She's got to get it together. She's came in here really hot here. Caitlin Clark scored single digits for the seventh time in her career as Indiana lost also Saturday. I don't know why CBS did this, but they put it up against Game 7. But I did record it. And she had a terrible game. She had 6 points. Marshall Lois scored 620. And then there's a viral video of her throwing up her arms towards the coach here. She got benched at one point. This is a point where she's gotten a lot of commercials. She's came in with a lot of hype. She had a really good rookie season. Maybe she's pressing too hard. I don't know. But she's got to get it together. She's got to get her head right. And I don't know if there's something going on with her right now, some kind of distraction. But she's just not living up to her standard right now. And I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'll monitor that as we go more into the summer with the great Caitlin Clark situation and see what her deal is. But a little disappointing there in the star player that we thought that was going to be really lead her team that late in the playoffs as we get closer and dig into the season. Just as that time, I noticed another storm came through here. Good time to wrap up this particular program. Okay, folks, I'll be back live Wednesday. We'll break this finals down in a little bit more detail with the Mad New York. And I'll tell you what, there likely will be some news on Philadelphia's A.J. Brown and see where he possibly may be traded because days of 31st will be past June 1st, where it is very likely that because of contract situations in the league new year, A.J. Brown's salary can be divvied out into 2 years instead of one. For cap hit purposes, we'll see where he goes. It looks like New England, but that's not a lock. So have a good week, everybody. Have a good Monday. I'll see you live here with the Mad New Yorker on Wednesday here on